Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. Thank you. Now enjoy the show.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Thanks for tuning in to another episode of RAERAEs Review, where me and my homegirl Erin gonna let you know about the What's Going Down episode of The Real Housewives of Orange County, season 19, episode 8. Everybody, please welcome Erin to the stage.
Hey, everybody. Happy Kiki Monique episode.
Okay, we got to see the infamous girl. Folks is spoken. She's so pretty.
Isn't she? Yeah, I was going to say, yep.
I was like, yes, ma'am. She's like, I'm going to establish my name, whatever. Shoot, put me on. Mic me up.
Yep, she's well respected in the commentary world. So, Dorinda Medley's co-host on Radio Andy, she has credentials.
And hey, you know, ain't nothing, and her credential is her receipt. Hello? Shoot. Yep. Baby girl, you in danger, girl. Mighty how the tides have turned, haven't they? It's only episode 8.
I know, we're all swirled up in the mix.
Girl, what's left to happen? What, about 7 more episodes, child? Oh my God. We halfway there.
Well, I think the curiosity for me is Katie like literally on an island and done, because they actually told her not to go to Amsterdam. So she was not included in the next cast trip. Yeah, so I mean, I don't know, like, is Katie now on an island? I don't know. Because she has been in all the promo.
It ain't right if they do. It's the cast trip. This is where they have to learn how to deal with each other, good, bad, or indifferent. Ain't like everybody else been squeaky clean. I mean, you know, this is what they have to do. No, I don't like excluding people. Not for nothing like this. It ain't like she, you know, slept with somebody man and is, you know, about to get a beat down. I'm just saying, I don't think this is enough to exclude her from trips.
I agree, but production did it.
And also Emily.
Yeah,
you throw her out your house either, but we're gonna get into it.
Yes, ma'am. No, I mean, you know, this is an engaging season. You got me, gals. You got me with the gossip season. I don't want this season after season, because this one is quite vicious, I will say. It's very mean girls.
Mean.
You know, Gretchen. We even got a Gretchen, not a Gretchen Wiener, but we got a Gretchen. You know, and I know that's your girl, but I don't know. There's a little there. Anyway.
Yeah, I see it. I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say.
Yes, ma'am. Well, I respect it.
Because remember, Heather was wrong last year too. But you know that's my girl too. The year before when she was talking, you know, last year talking about Jen and her finances, where she got busted about that $2,000 dress.
Oh yeah. No, listen, totally, because I agree with you. I totally agree with you. I don't think we throw Gretchen all the way out with the bathwater just because two things can be true. But yeah, no, I'm into this gossip season, but we can't keep on like this. It's too mean girls.
Right. It ain't like she's the one who allegedly gave Gretchen the drug. It ain't that type of, you know, it ain't, you know, it's like, okay, the girl lying on folks. Who ain't lied on somebody? I mean, come on, y'all. Come on.
Yeah, well, like I told you, it's interesting. I think Tamara has said a few supportive things about Katie in the press. I think she's biding her time because, when you look at I think it's the mid-season trailer or something, you do see that Gretchen yells at Heather like this other moment, why? You know what I mean? So I think I think some more things come out there. They still keep saying that it's very dark, which whatever the hell that means. And I'm like, even more than this? Jesus. So yeah, I mean, but yeah, no, I don't know. Katie has clearly been Tamara has said some supportive things about Katie, I think because she might be trying to like bring her back in because that would be a stone cold ally. I think Katie, Jen, and Gretchen thought they had an alliance that has gone horribly wrong.
Girl.
It's kind of what it feels like.
The nerve. That's all I gotta say. The nerve, child. Like excluding? Again, ain't this the whole point in learning how to deal with folks and these? Okay, so production curates and narrates the narrative and then excludes the person that they are narrating. Come on now.
Yeah, I do. Honestly, I do have a little word for Alex Baskin. If you watch and listening, because I know you are. I'm sorry, I've totally adopted that from you.
That's it.
We're all, and aunts and unks, everybody, let's make this a catchphrase for Ray Ray all day. All right, let's use it in the vernacular. I think that you all have. I think they all talk to the press. They all talk to the blog. Hell, Tamara is a blog. She's now on the other side doing this for a living. She's totally in the mix. I do think they have singled Katie out. On the other hand, I think Katie worked real hard immediately with her journalism background to really kind of get in the mix. And you now have an example of her talking about every single one of these castmates before she's really bonded, I think, with any of them. And I think that's the misplay here. But I do think production is using her misstep to annihilate her. And I don't necessarily agree with that.
Yeah, and Jen just skating by as French as the dumb blonde.
Yep.
Trying to make it seem like she don't know nothing. But she sure had a lot to say once everybody started dogpiling. But okay. Let's just get into it because child, girl,
right.
Listen, they may be giving SLC a run for their money. Because this got everybody talking. It's scandalous.
True.
Scandalous, child. Again, these doggone bloggers. Von Tees is what I call her.
True. It's true though. I mean, you have to not everyone talks to blog whatever. I mean, I think that they are particularly vicious about it. And honestly, I think that Tamara, Gretchen, and Katie are kind of the deepest ones in the paint with relationships that way.
Katie Von Tees is the new catchphrase, child.
Yeah.
Katie Von Tees. I know Mike is somebody like, I know she ain't. And we have a new contestant for villains. Bravo, Katie. You are, and she's going to say yes if they ask her. Just saying.
Yeah. I think they're I think they're in the mix.
Traders, all them shows, child.
Katie's husband was just on a podcast with Jeff Lewis. Lord. Yes, with Jeff Lewis's ex, Stuart. He's a Chef Stu. He's not.
Wait, I'm sorry. You said somebody's ex?
Jeff Lewis flipping out.
You said he had his ex on his podcast?
Jeff Lewis did have his boyfriend, Chef Stu. I forget what his last name is, but everybody calls him Chef Stu. And he's you know, like literally, and that kind of goes back to Kiki Monique. We're going off track a little bit for a second, but
No, yeah.
there's a subculture now of people that are adjacent to the housewives and the brothel
Yeah.
world, and that are existing in it, and like they're because Jeff Lewis is on Flipping Out, and Jeff Lewis has a radio talk show every morning on Sirius at XM, and is very popular. Right, we know this. Jeff has gotten dragged into New York beef, and you know, he's really good friends with Shannon. So there's an entire world of people that are adjacent. Kiki Monique is often on Sheena Shea from Vanderpump Rules' show.
Yeah,
She co-hosts
her on Watch What Happens Live.
Yep.
Bartender.
Yes, she co-hosts, like I said, with Dorinda on Radio Andy. She's one of the folks that are, and you know, is in the mix, knows a lot of the Bravo celebrities.
Right.
So we're in a weird world where people do have friendships and do interact and do all of that stuff. So Katie's husband did go on. Jeff Lewis has an ex named Chef Stu. They were together, they broke up. Of course, he aired Stu out very publicly because that's what Jeff does. Yeah, he does. Huh. Well, Chef Stu now has his own. He has a podcast deal, and he has his own YouTube channel.
Got a podcast deal.
Yes, he did. He's not particularly good. Sorry, Chef Stu. He's not. I'm gonna give him his critiques if you watch and listen. Because he's not. He used to be very close to Shannon. He used to be close to kind of the housewives world, and I don't feel that he's as informed as he should be when he's like making his speculations or doing commentary.
Yeah.
So it's annoying. But anyway, Katie's husband went on his podcast. I have yet to sit through it, but you know, I'm sure he's going to talk. I'm sure he talks about being witness to whatever conversation they're now saying didn't happen.
Yeah.
So I might have to go check that out just for the aunts and uncles and everybody.
Mm-hmm. You know, I kind of like this catch up the first part of the show. I think this may be something continuous. Yes.
All right.
Yes. Because you know, you always coming with something I don't see, sending me stuff and whatnot. You're more in the know when it comes to stuff. But you know what? I know we send each other things, but girl, what you sent me this week, baby.
I know.
All the hot topics and tea spilled and you know, like all these clarifications and things, you know. Now, Gretchen, you my girl, but girl, you looking like you looking, mamas. And okay, you ready to get in?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, so we start off with this boring. I mean, but I know okay.
I fast forward. I did what Alex does, smooth fast forward. I really did. I did.
I should have.
You should have.
But okay, it was a little bit of Shannon, you know, pouring her heart out to her dad. First of all, he 97, he 110, and it's his birthday, so she's treating him to a cute little lunch. She got this Marilyn Monroe singing happy birthday as if he's the president, giving him a hat. What's it called? Gene the Machine. Is that how he went around introducing himself to women who was his great grandchildren's age, girl?
Yes. See, that's the thing. She tries to make him like charming and like cheesy. I'm like, no, your dad comes off predatorial, baby. Sorry.
Straight.
Lech. And that makes me not surprised why your taste in men is such that it is.
Girl.
Sorry, Shannon.
The
Sorry.
truth reveals itself every time.
No, your dad, Lechy, straight up, yeah. Perfect word. Lech. 100. Ever since he's been on the show.
Now, you know.
Yeah, he's nice and old now. He's pretty a bunch of harmless Lech, but still.
96. Good for him. And you know, he seems still spry enough to get a good 7 more years out of him.
Yeah.
He may be that century years old, you know, type of person. Good for him.
Living on lechery. He living off lechery.
Well, hey, what was that? Bob, not Bob. Was it Bob? Wait, not Bob Hope. Who was the older dude with the glasses and smoked the cigars on stage?
George Burns.
George Burns.
Yep.
Girl, listen. Hey, aunties and uncles, you know who George Burns is. For the younger folk, look him up. He was a comedian, smoked cigars, told funny until the day he passed. And I think he had that whole thing going with him. No matter where he was, on a plane, train, I don't know, no matter where it was, that man was smoking a cigar, living his life well past 100. So
yep.
It is what it is. But whatever gene the machine is doing is working for him. Because he didn't look, he looked old, but he still look all right. He's shaking and moving and shaking. So, and we ain't heard no lawsuits. So apparently he doing it the right way, I guess. But yeah, so the whole point of that scene, Shannon is, giving a little something for her dad, and she letting him know she's unsure about moving forward with Tamra, and because of how much of a jerk she was to her, Tamra was to Shannon last year. And he was like, yeah, well, he was listening, but he
yeah, I know. I mean, and bless him and his 96-year-old lechy heart. I get it. Sometimes I look at production like, shame on y'all for trying to have some kind of conversation with someone that's really not here for it. You should have just leave it at the damn Marilyn Monroe crap. But you know what? If we went and did a montage of every time she talks to him about her life, he's given her some kind of misogynistic advice. I'm not even kidding you. So ain't nothing changed. Although, look, I'm of two minds. We could take this opportunity to talk about this. Yeah. If I were Shannon, I would probably not even spit on Tamra now that she's burning. You literally called me a drunk. You did whatever. If I didn't behave how you wanted me to behave in treating my substance abuse issues, you were treating me like I was a piece of garbage. So why should I turn around? And on top of that, now you're getting sloppy with your substances because you're going through a rough time, and you literally want me to extend you grace. You had none for me. I feel for Shannon there. At the same time, Tamra is saying she did apologize to her. She did drink again, so her apology is kind of BS. And I kind of respect the idea that, an apology has to come along with some accountability, and I haven't seen any. Tamra is really not good about that. So, but, and then we get to the point where, are we gonna try to be friends again or not? Where are we? Are you gonna when are you gonna decide to just try to move forward? Because they have done, as Vicky will say, a bunch of unforgivable shit to one another and then moved on. That's the nature of the show. Eventually, I don't know. What do you think?
I agree. I would like to see Shannon move on, but I know that it's a show. I believe she knows it's a show, and she has to drag things out as far as she can. Not to save herself, but just to make it a show. I think they're all in the minds of, and they may have been told this, or they may just know this, just to keep Ish going, because that's what attracts ratings. Something tells me that's been drilled into their brains, like learning the alphabet as a child. So I don't want to say it's all stunts and shows, because it kind of is, but it is their real life. And to alleviate the stress for Shannon and to make her days easier, I think she should deal with it as it presents itself, but don't initiate issues that cause her so much anxiety. about them. Does that make sense?
Yeah, if it were me, I think I'd want to demand one more scene with Tamara if I were Shannon, and be like, especially after what happened with
The lie detector test?
no, actually, after what happened in New Orleans, I'd want to be like, Tamara, you told me you weren't going to be drunk around me anymore, and then that night you walked in with a glass of wine on a Xanax. You're going through a hard time, but you're struggling with substances. Can you now understand how little compassion you had for me and truly apologize for the way that you disparaged my character because I leaned on controlled substances to cope? Because I literally watched you promise me something and go back on it. And the hypocrisy is making me really annoyed about being friends with you. If I would, and then
I agree.
and if you could fall on that sword and say, you're right, I'm sorry, I was really cruel to you in that way, and I please forgive me, then I could move forward, because I would want it on camera in front of the audience. You need to take a knee for calling me a drunk, an alcoholic, go have another drink, all of that shit you threw at me where you were shaming me for losing control.
You need to write that down and send it to Shannon. Verbatim. And if transcripts will be in by the time within 24 hours of this rebroadcast. I'm not kidding. You may want to send that to Shannon and say, girl, read this, memorize it, and or read it to Tamara. Please.
Because
that's exactly what she needs to say, but she ain't gonna say it like that. But that's what she needs to say.
And you actually took the response right out of my mouth. It's like, that's kind of one of Shannon's biggest problems this season in addressing things with, people, where it's like, hit Tamara with the core of what went down. Stop being like, I'm in a better place, I'm working on myself, I have boundaries. Take situation for situation and have an honest conversation, honestly, because it's an issue that is plaguing the housewife franchises across the board, that when the high level stakes that these women start living in, where there's a lot of money involved, there's men, there's all the access and issues that come with celebrity and being in the public eye, a lot of these ladies have turned to abusing substances to cope, and they've all had various journeys with it. If we could start being more honest with each other, like if they could, then I think we could be having healthier discussions about this period. But nope. Instead, Shannon's just walking around with like scary looking hair extensions, just kind of being a basket case. But anyway, yeah, I mean, that's how I feel like they can move forward. And production didn't give us that scene, and it's unfortunate.
It is unfortunate. No telling what else they didn't give us.
I know. I mean, or they did, and they just didn't give it to us. Well, shame on you in editing and storytelling. We needed it. We needed and I know she quit for a week, but I don't even care. You could easily set up that conversation at any time.
She didn't even, that wasn't no damn quit. That girl farted and came back.
She went up to the woods. She farted in the woods in her house at Big Bear for a minute.
Yeah, that's what I'm about to say. She farted and came back.
That's funny. True. Yeah. So I mean, that's my my 2 cents about the way to move that situation forward, because then you'd get a really, really good you're a hypocrite for Shannon, and that would satisfy me, because I'd move forward after I got you on camera and the whole audience is like, yeah, you were a hypocrite, take a knee.
And she was working because it was being filmed, so she ain't quit shit.
I know you were drunk.
Just went to go fart and came back.
Yeah, high as hell on camera. I'll never get over the one eye open, like just one eye drooping. That's when I had to text you. What is happening? Anyway,
girl,
so I mean,
Destiny is looking more and more right every time they film this stuff. She was can't really blame her for wanting to make things right. Just saying.
Listen, Bethany is extremely annoying, but she's also very smart. Oh God, like the most grating white woman in the world. Jesus Christ. Like, God damn, she's strung so tight you could see that her heartbeat and the tendons of her neck. It's not, she's so high on even her own self. However, no one can take away how classic she is as a housewife. Mention It All with the legs up in the air is one of the best moments of all time. It is a top 10. She's a very smart woman, as flawed as she is, as they all are. I do think she has some incredibly valid arguments in her reality reckoning. She does.
I will never forget her own show with that ex-husband.
Oh.
I tell you, I have been, this is unpopular. I have a lot of unpopular opinions, but that's okay. I can stand 10 toes when I say this. Yeah. I have followed her and liked her to the point where I still purchase Skinny Girl. I have Skinny Girl products in my home, whether it's the margarita that I purchase ever so often. I'm gonna get some. I might not because I'm not feeling too well, but I just may get a little something. But the bottle is so big. Anyway, I may get a little Skinny Girl margarita just to toast for Labor Day. But I have, and I used to buy more products when there were more products on the shelves. But recently, I've noticed some salad dressings that I've had. I have had 3 different kinds: the Goddess, the balsamic, and the what's the mustard thing people like, the dressing, not the Dijon.
Honey mustard?
It could be. It's in there right now, but I don't feel like going in there. But I have those 2 left, the balsamic and the mustard thing. And let me tell you, I support that. But recently I saw her shopping at Target, so I may have to just, buy something else. Because no, girl, we supposed to be boycotting. We're supposed to be leaving them alone right now. But anyway, I support, for the most part, what she has been trying to do. And it's not like she's doing things for herself. She's really trying to support these women who have been taken advantage of. And we all have seen it over the years, but it's going to take more than just what has happened. Unfortunately, these lawsuits aren't really helping, but at the same time, it's going to take for the women to make changes to demand and command changes at the workplace for certain things, and to change something about themselves so that all of this isn't for nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think what I would like to see is using substances to cope is really not the only issue that is rampant on this. I mean, eating disorders and all kinds of financial abuse. There's all kinds of stuff, and I think that if we could do a better job with the ladies as they go through the journey to learn how to cope with this stuff and change their behavior. The problem that you run into is, I think you need to leave the therapist off the damn show, because once your therapist is on camera, it's no longer no. I just don't agree with it. I think that you need to keep your therapist off camera, and there needs to be the appropriate professional patient bond where you don't feel like your therapist has any vested interest in perpetuating your bullshit.
And let's exercise HIPAA, ladies. You don't have to agree. Just FYI, it's a legally binding matter with your employer. You do not have to agree. Otherwise, you can sue them, just saying, for violations with their intent to violate your HIPAA protections. You can say no and still go on with your employment as directed or as it is. So I agree. There has to be a line drawn between what is sacred to your soul and what is good TV. We don't need to see and anybody, we don't need to see therapy sessions. Now, physical therapy, physical medicine, think, okay, it's like working out. But those mental disorders should not be displayed on television. Those discussions about your mental disorders by a licensed person should not be discussed for makings of good television. It's a violation. It is. It's a violation.
No, and listen, I'll even go as far as to say there are specific therapists in LA that deal with people in the entertainment industry that are comfortable and understand the specific issues that being a reality personality or an actor or whatever, like they can be tailored specific to the business. You could even hire a therapist to have a conversation with some of these ladies that's comfortable being on camera, that's not their regular therapist. You could call it like a life coach appointment or whatever, where they talk about some of this shit. And then it's kind of like almost like, Jeff Lewis used to have his therapist, Dr. Donna, on the regular. I'm just sorry, Jeff, you're the example of the day. I never liked it because it felt like, to a certain extent, Jeff was able to control what his therapist said to him because she enjoyed being on the show, getting paid. I'm sure she got a lot of benefits by being affiliated with and known as Jeff Lewis's therapist, Dr. Donna, right? Well, then she made a comment to Jeff about not liking the hotel that he had her staying at, and he got super offended, and Dr. Donna's not been back on the show. Because what do we know? Jeff blows up his relationship with every woman that he has, period. So, and then there you go. Look at that. That was no longer a professional relationship that sustained. That ended because somebody got pissed off that, he was embarrassed or offended or whatever. So, but I think that if Dr. Donna just remained a colleague that came on his show to kind of like act like a psychologist figurehead, kind of like Dr. Phil does, then fine,
Okay, not to be confused with the incels and the red pill community. Is he the president of the Woman Haters Club?
I mean, honestly, if you look at the way he's blown up his relationship with every woman that he's been super close to, it'd make you question it.
Girl. I mean,
Serious
I know
mommy issues.
And he's smug and he can go with the best of them, but geez, Jeff. Oh my.
And I'll just look, I used to really enjoy Flipping Out. I think he's funny. I think he's a dynamic character, but the way that he has blown up, and yeah, he's blown up a lot of male relationships too, but the way he burns the relationship down to the ground with his female friends. Oh, look at the way he went after Heather McDonald. Look at the way he went after there was Megan Weaver was his co-host, Julie and Brandy. Shout out Jenny Poulos. You know what I mean? Like he just, when he has a break with his female friends, it's like the mommy issues come out, because I heard he wasn't that close with his mom. He was raised by his dad, basically. Good Lord.
How the truth reveals itself every time, child. I tell you.
Every time. But so we digress.
Giving tubal ligations to everybody, just was burning the ends.
Removing the tubes. Like you can't even put them back in the body. Like, oh, Jenny will not forgive him. Jenny Poulos, he tried to send over a dessert because they were at a restaurant. He tried to send over.
You meant Jenny McCarthy. Oh
no. Oh, I don't. You know what? He'd offend her too if they work together. I love
me some Jenny McCarthy. Oh, I love her.
she just wants to be happy with her new kid on the block, with her husband. That's all she wants.
Okay. Her and Donnie. Are they still together?
They are. You know what? I would not mind that setup where you just do co-host on fun stuff. You have a little job, right? You just stay on TV, but then you just real happy in your marriage.
Her come up was just she was that girl.
She was.
In the 90s.
Mm-hmm. I met her once.
However long it was the whole 90s, because I was in my thing. Oh, shut up! How old I was, but just saying. I mean, she was that girl.
Her
come up was just authentic, awesome, and real, and she is non-problematic. You know what I'm saying? Ain't never had an issue with people, or been in the media over some mess. She wasn't out there showing her cooch like the other girls was.
Everybody got mad at her because she said she thought vaccines caused autism, but that was kind of minor. That was her.
She's the only one who said
no,
it.
No, she
cases.
So she just she was a funny, pretty girl, and she really was able to allow her quick wit, her sense of humor, her goofy sense of humor, her funniness to eclipse the fact that she was really, really like a hot blonde that came from Playboy. So
she was an enigma because she, like you said, hot, like, oh wow, she got it going on, but smart and knew how to use it. She reminds me of what's the video vixen that was in the car crashed and she had a head injury.
Melissa Ford
reminds me of her. How they like bombshells, but brains also, and they've never been, or they've never compromised themselves for a job. You can't find a story or a man to say, yeah, I had her. And they've walked well in their shoes, looking the way they look in this industry of misogyny and patriarchy and lechery and all of those things, and they've made it through the gauntlet to the point where we are discussing them in this light. I just thought about her, like, big ups to her. I like Jenny anyway.
Yes. Well, speaking of the gauntlet, Kiki Monique's about to walk into a restaurant.
Girl, with her bag close to her, like ain't nobody like Aretha Franklin did on stage with her purse. I said she walked in clutching that bag tight. What's in the bag, Kiki? I know, right? I'm glad she came on to salvage her reputation, because it is important in these social media streets that people do that. Especially, this is her livelihood and her job. Folks is messing with. I don't blame her, and I'm glad that they gave her that opportunity. I really am.
I'm glad she took it too. I don't think there's any way she wouldn't have. I think, she did go on Sheena's podcast and say that it was like nerve-wracking to be on the other side of the cameras. But and you've heard me say this well before we watched this episode, that like Kiki Monique is reputable. She's a reputable, journalist in the commentary world. The Talk of Shame is her IG account. Go follow her. She's great. And I'm glad that she was able to. And also, this brings me back to Katie clearly gossiped about these women and dog walked them. She dog walked them. And that is something that the bloggers are kind of making it clear, that she didn't just drop shit here and there. She kind of amplified. Now, I don't agree. I don't agree with Gina. Clearly said something stupid, but as shout out to Alexander Rogers, he said, you just should have left it alone. You shouldn't have even commented. White woman, stay away. Right? Just don't. But to purposely give it a racist slant means that you care more about the sensationalism and the getcha than you do about building any kind of working relationship with these folks.
And you know, and we're talking about what Gina said about the Asian designer comment, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I saw it more so as you should have just, first of all, Gina should have expounded more in the moment instead of leaving things up to interpretation. I don't think she was being racist as the norm of how dare you bring, and you know, or how, or you know, along those lines of how dare you, as far as bringing Asian designers into the fray of the show. But I think she should have explained in the moment, I thought you were going to be, you know, doing this, that, and the third. Instead, you're doing third, that, and the this. You know, just add some more to it so that it's not taken any other way. But yet and still, it was wrong for Gina to even make that a point, because as she explained it, she was upset in the moment. So anytime you're slanting someone's culture and you're upset, it's never going to come out right. So,
well, Amir Yas on Justin Martinell also claimed that Katie said that Gina said she smelled like kimchi on Watch What Happens Live and they had to cut it, which I don't know how that works. But so take that, gossip mongers, as you will, right? So there's another source saying that Katie made a comment about Gina's. So here's the way you look at it. Is Katie putting 25 on 5 because of Katie's kind of mean girl comment that can be skewed toward ignorance, right?
Gina's comment.
Gina, yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Gina's, you know, like, I get it. You were trying to be like, oh, you said you were going to do something and now you're not doing it. But like I said, you should have just shut up on that one. Find another dig. You know, like you kind of like stepped into a situation where that, you know, it can be used against you. But I do feel like we're in a really weird pond of uncomfortable of like, I would hate to see anyone creating a racist edge that was not there, because we have so much divisiveness, and I want casts to be polycultural. I want them to be multi-ethnic. Like we all have friends of different ethnicities, and like and we don't even give it, you know, like those parts don't even come up, right? Like, so we can have healthy relationships, and I would like there to, especially in Southern California, we're very diverse. We all have, you know, I'd like to see that be successful. So if you're really amplifying some shit to have a storyline and to kind of put one over on another castmate, that's yucky. I hate that. But Gina, like, just like, you know, as they would say, con cuidado. Like, just don't eat means with care. Be careful.
Con
cuidado. Cuidado is careful.
Yeah.
So like, you know, like you say it a lot to your little baby when it's toddling around like a sharp table or some shit. Con cuidado. You know what I mean? Like,
yes.
Just be careful with some of this stupid shit, because now you look, you know, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It's like one of those things where it's like you said, you should have clarified that instead of just saying, where's the Asian designer? Like, now you just look you look weird.
Or, you know, also if she's going to go there, is that one of the Asian designers you spoke of? Who is
right?
Saying that that is a read within itself too. If it's not,
give them some shade lessons.
I'm just saying, you know, she was mad and upset, so it's not going to come out right. As she pointed out, I was mad and upset in the moment. Well, now you're looking like you're looking.
And look, Katie's going to use whatever opportunity she has. That's what she's proven.
And hello, these two issues Kiki pointed out as far as Katie Von Teese telling Kiki Monique that Gretchen said she was drugged. Now, mind you, you see how the words are changing now? Now it's drugged, not roofied.
Right. Well, here's the thing, right? We have a couple of layers to the wedding cake tier of lies, right?
Mm-hmm.
Gretchen is saying, well, first of all, there is a discrepancy. Did you go to the hospital the next day? Didn't you? Right.
Because she said it.
And I remember during our review where I was like, I feel crazy, but I'm like, Gretchen did get caught with disparaging statements that way.
Mm-hmm.
Gretchen did go on Heather McDonald and said to her, I misspoke. I was tired, and Slade was trying to kind of like, oh, I could tell she was really tired. Okay,
Yeah.
y'all. That
you know.
Yeah, right. So then there is, did Gretchen say, I went to the hospital and they found drugs in my system? That's another, we don't know.
That part. Mm-hmm.
Side tier wedding cake. What did Jen hear? What did Jen know? We got the island that is Jen. That's on the side. Then we have, did Slade call, is it Mike, Katie's husband, and say, Matt, thank you. Mike, Matt, generic white man name.
You had a mic on.
Yeah. Generic white golf man name. Matt or Mike, take your pick. Matt, don't tell Katie, hold the line, protect our girl. Don't this is going. I think he probably called him to be like, this is going to go too far. We don't want to get sued. Keep it cute, whatever, right? Then we have Katie went to Kiki Monique and probably other people. Did Katie modify what she was told when Gretchen said I was drugged? She got roofied, right? Do we lose? Here's the level. What I don't think is deniable is Katie went to Kiki Monique and said that Gretchen was drugged. And I do believe at this point now that Gretchen did say on that date she went to the hospital. I think this is kind of what I'm feeling like. They were having a great time. They were drinking. They were gossiping. I think Gretchen put a little extra sauce on it. I do. I think Gretchen put sauce, and I don't know yet. Maybe we'll find out more. Right now, it doesn't feel like Gretchen was telling Katie, go spread this to the blogs. Would it feel right? But, well, that's kind of what Katie's insinuating, especially with Slade calling Matt and like having them kind of fortify the situation. What I feel like Katie chose to do is kind of take any piece of information she had,
any piece,
and get real comfortable
with
a
morsel, a crumb at the bottom of the fried chicken bucket.
Right? No matter how dark brown it was. No matter how old.
Because it's so delicious when you put your finger in it and put it in your mouth and crunch on it. Yeah. That's what that was.
Yeah. Yes. Because, and I think she was having drinks with these folks. I think she was making friends. I think she was talking that mess. And I think she just went super far. Because there does seem to be like, and the reporter, I guessed who it was too. It's Dave Quinn from Entertainment Tonight.
Yes.
Like, they were all saying like, look, she ran her mouth, and there's a lot of stuff we didn't run with because it was like real. It was like, oh, girl, yeah,
because they know more about this than Katie Von Teese does. Katie Von Teese didn't bet on that. She just thought because she's a housewife, her word will be taken as gospel and ran with, and she'll gain some fame and notoriety, but it fired.
I just think she overshot, like, having a media background, like how buddy she could get, and like how wild she could get with them. Like, it's almost like, girl, you know that you're just a chess piece in the game. No one has any loyalty to you. What makes you think that if you go after other people that they have relationships with, that, like, Tamara knows Dave Quinn, right? Who told
Right.
her about what Katie said? Dave Quinn is going to stick with the long running housewife that has her own blog, like, or her own podcast network over you, who's a questionable first run. You know what I mean? And, like, so
From scene one, she's been
yeah.
questionable. Golly.
So it's like, I think she, like, was overly confident about where her place was in all of this, because she really rubbed, and I think, here's what I think she ran her mouth hard after she got annihilated at the reunion. Because, I mean, if you think about it, remember, there's the lawsuit came out, or the news came out that she had this really bizarre run-in with a man on the road that looked real weird, right? Then she had the really unfortunate, she had her custody agreement dragged out, and I do say that was wrong, but there was just a lot of stuff coming out about her, and I think she hit back real hard after that season. I think that things changed when she went to go shoot, and I think she got in trouble by Alex Baskin by how much she had run her mouth. And that was where Amir Yas said on Justin Martindale's podcast that Katie was supposed to work with him as a PR person, but then she called him up and said, I've been told by production I can't work with you anymore. Yeah, because you run your mouth too much and, like, you're in trouble. Right? So I think then she tried to downshift, but now there's all this damage floating out there, and they just decided, you know what? Your storyline is that you ran your mouth so bad, you're going to get it. If you survive this season, you better come back and be in better behavior, right? Like, but they might just have decided to crucify her and go down with the ship because she's unsalvageable.
You know, in some way or another, as Kiki salvaged her reputation and just, you know, they just got straight to it. It wasn't a whole lot of, hey girl, and all this, that, and the third in that scene. It was just boom, 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 and then she left. Yep. It seems to me like she was representing for all reputable folks, not just all of us, but those that Katie Von Teese then went to and tried to sell a story.
I agree.
For the most part, because as we're both watching these different podcasts talk about this particular subject, they're all saying the same thing. Yeah, she came to me. She came to me. She came to me. She came to, I mean, who? Yeah. And I'm pretty sure there are more, because if these many different people are saying these things and saying more than just what she discussed about the cast with them, other things that arose that doesn't paint her in the best light as well. She sounds real thirsty, real dry-throated, and for the most part, it doesn't fare well. Again, if you want to cause all this commotion, have a better plan to where if anything backfires, it wouldn't be so detrimental. Because, girl, we may not see you next year the way things is going.
Yeah. And we have numerous occasions now where you straight up lied. I did not do that. And then you did. And you did. And you did. I did not tell Kiki Monique that. Yes, you did.
Well, how Kiki find out?
Yeah, no, and Heather McDonald also said on her podcast, Juicy Scoop, that she had already heard from multiple people around town that Katie was running her mouth. So there's another source of that supports your theory that, like, real dry-throated and was talking a lot and over-talked and got in trouble.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I said, and got in trouble and is now here.
And why And why would all these folks lie on her? And what would be the motive? They're already in the know. They're already in the fray. They know more. They probably know just as much as about the show as it's coming out. So what motive do they have to tell the truth about Katie Von Teese not telling the truth? Just saying. I mean, because, it's always about the motive. They're not getting any more publicity other than probably more views because people want to hear what they got to say about this. But that's the norm when it comes to salacious things that are happening. So, I mean, I'm just trying to see it on different angles and sides, but it all boils down to Katie Von Teese.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I am mildly curious if we're going to find out any more about, this Gretchen Tamara drugged me comment. What Gretchen mishandled is the fact that, like,
yeah,
there's some sloppiness around this one. There is. Like, there's some, like hot sauce was put on something. But I've had a couple people in like different Facebook groups talk about they went back and watched the naked wasted scene, and they all talk about that it's awful, that it's like awful to watch because Tamara's just like, we gonna get her kind of thing. So I think the interesting part is, in a way, Tamara's putting out this crazy allegation to almost deflect the fact that she was basically trying to drug Gretchen with alcohol.
Hey, I'll be right back. Keep talking.
Yeah. So, it definitely, the sinister edge to the whole thing has always been there. I think what some people are complaining about that they don't like, and I do agree with this, is that I don't need you to Me Too everybody again. Like, I don't need you to go so far down. This was like 17 years ago, and like take a situation that was already not cute and now turn it into even more of a sinister situation. We can already all agree it wasn't cool. It was not cute at the time. Shouldn't have happened. And, but it was 17 years ago, and we all have moved forward very far.
Yeah, girl, people that graduated from high school.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, 17 years ago, and she's bringing this up like, okay. And again, as tumultuous, as hostile as Tamara and Gretchen have been over the years, that would have been came out. It wasn't just her trying to get, because all I heard back then was, they're just trying to get me drunk. They're just trying to get me. No, it would have been more than that.
Oh, are you kidding? With the way they've already gone after each other's jugulars with their parenting and their whatever. Yes. And it's funny that Gretchen's saying, don't you think I would have used that by now? I'm like, I do if it were true. But do I think that you might have been like over exaggerating because you're excited to be on the show and you want to really get Tamara? And Tamara has cut Slade deeply by like really airing out his deadbeat dadness. And it's like, listen, Slade, I don't know what changed in your financial situation, and I don't know how you remedied it, but like, I do think that your ex-wife had a very heartbreaking statement about how BS you were as a father to your disabled child who was sick most of his life. And that speaks a lot. That sucks.
It's the GoFundMe for me. I'm just saying.
Yeah. So at the same, at the same time, Tamara has sold out her storyline with her daughter, including this season, in a way that I don't agree with. So, but yeah, I mean, I think that they made a misstep. They got a little weird with this storyline. But let's talk about somebody that, like, I'm side-eyeing at her quietness. Jen. This woman is capable of lying. She cheated on her husband twice before she left him for Ryan. This woman is capable of playing and faking the funk and doing what she needs to do to serve herself. Like you said, she likes to play the attractive, innocent, kind of dumb blonde. And I don't think that's inauthentic, but I'm also looking at you, girl. You
Okay, who's
witnessed something.
Ryan?
Ryan. Not Brian, Ryan. Ryan is who she's with, Jen and Ryan.
Wait, who are we talking about?
I'm talking about Jen. Jen is quiet and all
Oh,
that.
girl, I don't know how I missed that in a
Sorry.
No. Okay, yeah.
Like, let's bring the Jen of it all. Where are you in all this? Like, you heard Gretchen say it or you didn't.
That's the one thing I'm with Katie Von Teese on. Jen ain't saying nothing but joining in on the pile up at the end because now she can actually. Oh, now you got a recollection about what y'all done talked about. Again, if and Gretchen should probably come to Katie's defense with that if that becomes an issue. It probably will about or just say who was there listening to things. If Jen was there, what was she doing? Sucking on Ryan's dick at the time? What was going on?
Jen,
why isn't she attesting to either or?
Yeah. And I think that, and I already believe Jen's capable of lying because of the way that she cheated on her husband. Like she can put on a fraud. She can. She's not all pure and innocent. I think she can act how, so I think she's happy to be out of the drama on this one, but it's like, nah, girl, your silence makes you look real suspect.
And I kind of do believe she was doing single white female. She was trying to, gain some notoriety just like Katie, but in a different way. Befriending someone who's actually on the show, hoping to get a leg up to get on the show because, and that's how you do it, Katie. You don't tell stories on the women. You actually befriend them and, hang out, get to know them. And perhaps, girl, you may want to take a lesson from Jen, but at the same time, yeah, Jen, you need to own up to either you was there or you weren't. And if you were, what side are you on? And don't lie this time.
She's on Gretchen's side because she's filming confessionals with Gretchen, so she's gonna she's gonna uphold, But that is an area where I believe Katie. I do think Jen is throwing Katie under the bus, going, "Well, I'm not going to pour a glass of water on you while you burn because I want to stay on the show." I think that Jen wants to be a Real Housewife of Orange County more than she cares about maintaining friendships with anyone. And I do think Gretchen, Katie, and Jen thought they were going to be in an alliance when they entered, and they probably were. But when they got to the point where Katie just became too big of a liability, that's one thing you always have to remember on these shows. Every single person wants to stay on this cast unless they leave. They will do whatever it takes. And a friendship, you have to have a friendship for several seasons before you could rely on it over the show, and even then that's a gamble because look at Tamra and Shannon. There's no loyalty. It's whatever you need to do to stay on the show.
And I get it because I've even thought about how much I am married to Medicine LA. You know what I'm saying? How much I am married to Medicine. And but I wouldn't be doing on shit like this, trying to do anything and everything to get on or stay on. It will be totally authentic. So I do get that need or want or justification for wanting to participate. But I think Ryan is also filling Jen's head about how she should move in this group.
I agree, but I think
this seems like it's, curated by Ryan and as far because I don't think Jen is that smart or smart enough to navigate in this particular instance. Like for instance, the last year when Ryan was in all that heat and everything, it was to the point where she was hush about all of that. Her whole thing was that's all about Ryan. I don't know. Girl,
Yeah, no, Ryan is so Huntington Beach. I can't even speak that enough. For you SoCal folk, he's so Huntington Beach. He is as greasy as a spray tan. This man likes, but that might make him the perfect house husband, because I'm telling you,
Oh,
because that where he's like, okay, you look really hot now, like we're good as a couple. If he can like keep himself from needing to have the validation of young and new, because all these girls are going to try it, if he's
man.
locked into being a decent partner, he'll get all the benefits of the of all of the like endorsements and sponsorships and brand ambassador and free stuff that you get as a housewife, right? And I'm sure he and Jen both really love that. I'm sure that Jen looked at Tamara's life and said, I want that too. I have no doubt,
Yeah.
right? And Tamara knows there's plenty of women in that community that are probably trying to do that, or like being friendship adjacent. So I think that Katie was foolish to think that any of these women wouldn't turn on her to save themselves. But at the end of the day, though, there's so much ammo. There's so much ammo.
So
Oh,
much.
wait, your daughter started off pretty aggressive with her comments about Emily's kids. That was weird to me. That was a strike. Then turns out, then you pointed the nanny in the right direction. There's one. And I couldn't even be mad at you, because I thought that is a get back at Emily, because she did do that. She was real yucky
She
on the
admitted it.
reunion.
I was upset. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you were messed up. Right. But then we have, oh, well, I got a recording of Shannon being a complete asshat, so that, and this was around the time that Shannon had already been caught being a jerk on production for Love Hotel, remember? Like, so, it
Yeah.
was, so
Oh, that's what I wanted to ask you. After this, tell me about the Alexis Bellino discussion with Carlos.
oh, okay. Um, God, see, that's another thing.
Huh?
Yeah, no, yeah. So, um, she, she, Alexis totally thinks that Gretchen, Katie, and Jen had a alliance going. And she does think that Gretchen lied, but she's like, Gretchen's already on camera lying, so she did. So she thinks that she said it. She said that Katie did share the note about Shannon screaming and
Right.
yelling. Like, she's like, how else would I even know? So, she substantiated that Katie shared it with her.
Does she
So,
think Jen was there?
yes, she does.
That's two, Jen.
Right.
That's
So,
two.
So, yeah, so I mean, you kind of have, and
Mhm.
then there is the Tamra, then there's the Kiki Monique of it all, where she befriended this person, or just told her all kinds of stuff. Then there's the Dave Quinn of it all. Then there's the Amir Yas. I was gonna have him be my PR person. There's another Bravo blogger that had a conversation with Katie, some vanilla white girl. I don't know who you are. I'm sorry to that person. But so there's like so many instances of people that have had conversations with Katie about
Mhm.
shenanigans. So it's like, girl, you ran your mouth too much. And there's, you went too hard too soon.
Just shaking my head, child. Just
Yeah, I mean, listen, we could get lost in all the details.
Woo. All right, so moving on. Girl, Heather, just we need something light and airy because child, it's getting a little dark in here. Heather, my girl, having family time. She said that all the kids were there, but the fourth kid wasn't there. I'm like, where the fourth one at? She's still in, I mean, it's they, right? Ace.
No, Ace was there. Ace was there. One of the daughters wasn't there.
Wait a minute.
Was it two
That
daughters
was
and a?
Ace.
Yeah, there's one. There was the yeah.
The eldest twin.
Yeah, there's the boy and then
Okay.
Ace and one of the daughters. And then one of
Got
the
it.
other daughters wasn't there. She's in New York, I think, or something.
Okay, yes. I think they had her hanging out with some of the Gen NYC crew or something, or right? There's some pictures floating around.
I think so. I mean, they should get her on. Why not? I mean, you know, any of those Real Housewife kids floating around New York, get them on there. Get Shannon's daughter, you know, get them in there.
Yeah, it's girl, I don't know who I was trying to say, but it's imperative that I get this straight. And speaking of straight, Ace is non-binary.
No, he is a trans man. He is
Ace is trans.
Ace identifies as a boy.
Okay. Ace is now is a trans, but is Ace still a kid?
Yes. So we need to respect that for now, and until Ace tells us differently, trans male.
Okay. So
15 or 16. Ace is 15 or 16.
Okay, so they have a trans child.
Yes.
And they have who don't they have a non-binary child too?
They have a bisexual daughter.
And that's the one who wasn't there. She's the twin.
I believe so, yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And I think they have a lesbian daughter as well. I think that's the one that wasn't there was lesbian, but the other one that's there, I think, is bisexual.
So just to clear, just from when we met them, they had 3 girls and a boy.
Yes.
When we first met them.
Yes.
Okay, so now the little baby one with the cheeks is who we saw playing poker.
Yes, that is Ace.
Okay, and now he's Ace. Mm-hmm. And the eldest twin, he's in real estate now.
Yeah, I forget his name, but he is straight and cisgendered.
And his twin sister, who is bisexual out there.
She's a lesbian, I believe. And then
I thought I had it.
No, I mixed you up. That she's a lesbian, I believe, and then the second daughter is cisgendered and bisexual. Yeah.
Okay, because I thought I was looking at. Pardon my French, because I didn't know until now. I thought I was looking at 2 boys and a girl, meaning the girl was the baby. But I don't know. I'm just thinking, but I'll look at it again. So I'm just for clarification purposes, because I didn't know what I know now. So the eldest twin who wasn't there. So those are okay. I got it now. I got it. And if anybody needed clarification, now you got it too.
Well, and please forgive me if I got it mixed up somewhere with somebody, you know, like I try to stay current and on top of it, but I'm so sorry if I got something wrong. I stand
because we're all trying to
would you
understand who, because I want to know who I'm talking about when I say such and such.
Yes. So Ace is the gamer. Ace is the one that has introduced poker and different things to the family, which is very cute.
That's why I wanted to say, because of how Heather was talking about the family. Yeah. Because the eldest son, the twin, wants a home near Palm Springs.
Yes, he does.
I don't want to come home and have to go all the way to Palm Springs. And the daughter, okay. So the other daughter, and I do not want to describe them as their gender, and that's not what I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to understand who I'm talking about. So the other daughter, she was like, I'd rather stay in LA because I ain't got time to be LA. So I think it all depends on what the other twin got to say. She's out there in NYC doing her thing. So they probably have, like me, have some out there in Palm and some out there in LA, because they got 2 properties in the same building, child. If that
If
ain't-
I had their money, I would absolutely have an apartment in New York, and I would have absolutely a compound in Palm Springs if I had their money. Like,
I'm saying, like,
even if it was just like a nice 1 bedroom in New York. I know it's not cheap, but they got that kind of money. They like to have, obviously, like a very large space wherever they live, and I respect that. But like, there's no reason for you not to have like a cool loft in New York and like a nice little house with a pool out in Palm Springs.
and isn't Heather from the East Coast?
She's from New York.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I ain't trying to tell them how to spend their money or do what they got to do. I think you're right. I think
Yeah.
little spots here and there, but they want to do one main house, and I'm like, well,
Right.
it just may have to be LA because that's the central point. I mean, their work, meaning the parents' work, is pretty much centralized out of Los Angeles, I believe. It's just, it kind of makes sense in a way, but whatever it is, child, good for y'all, because I'm glad that you have options. Just be wise, because the next 3.5 years is going to affect everybody.
Yeah. Well, and I think that that's kind of like what she was saying, is that they don't have to figure out anything immediately right now, and they're not going to, because of the fact that that Beverly Hills compound home didn't work out, and they don't know exactly where to land yet. And shit, if you can swing 2 floors and a penthouse, like all those things, then fine. I wouldn't have a problem with it.
I just don't what are y'all doing that you require a whole separate address to do y'all's business?
She said that I don't know if it was an interview with her or something, maybe it was the after show. She said that they basically, she has her entire closet upstairs and like all of her, and that a really nice master bedroom. She said that they sleep downstairs, they cook downstairs, they basically live downstairs, but the walls are really thin so that you can kind of hear one another a little too well. So what she'll do is she kind of jumps from the penthouse, like with glam and getting ready, versus like functionality and day-to-day, like eating, family, whatever. She also, I think, has her podcast studio upstairs, so things like that. They basically are just living, their lifestyle with the space. Must be nice.
That's all I'm gonna say.
Must be nice.
Moving on.
Well, listen, if there's anything I've always appreciated about Heather Dubrow, is they have enough money and she lives in a way that has aspirational written all over it.
Fancy pants is
has always
described. But that's my girl. That's my girl.
Yeah. No, I'm still a likable woman, though. Honestly.
Yeah.
Still a likable woman. Slightly neurotic because she's like spoiled, but like she's a likable person to me.
Yay.
Yeah.
Now we got this Persian New Year / lie detector party Emily is throwing, because as we discussed earlier, when cultures mix, we appreciate them. We ain't nobody trying to take no dig, no dug. We appreciate it because we are all respectful, or should be respectful. And I'm quite intrigued to learn more about this, actually, from how they're describing it. I'm all about a good time, and if it's about uplifting and starting anew, and I'm pretty sure you have more to say because you got some real good intel on Persian culture, and from my understanding, this was celebrating the New Year 1404, and Shane's family is half Persian, his mom and all her folks.
Mm-hmm.
And Emily wanted to celebrate that, even though they weren't there. It was just for the cast and to make a theme. It was her inviting them into the Persian New Year, and about, like I said, starting anew and developing new heights on being a better you, a better self, better relationships. And please chime in if I'm saying something or if I'm leaving something out. But that's what I got from it.
Yeah, no, it was interesting. I did grow up. One of my best friends was Persian. She was Persian and Jewish, and I have very vivid memories of celebrating a lot more of like the Jewish holidays than I do this
Mm-hmm.
one. So I'm actually kind of ignorant on this one myself. I do not remember celebrating
Mm-hmm.
Persian New Year like with them, but what I will say is that food is some of the most. If she got that catered, if that was Persian food, I would have been like, sign me up. I don't need to know that you're killing fish in a bowl. That was sad, but whatever. I respect the tradition. I thought that was cool. But I hate to, like, that party was a ruse. Y'all took that holiday for a ruse, for some bullshit. Because what you did is you had some Hollywood lie detectors set up in your closet. I mean,
Period.
I'm not saying that lie detectors aren't used, but like, get out of here. Stunt with a capital, all caps. Because here's the thing I have to say, and we could just jump right in, right?
Mm-hmm.
There were questions they asked that they said that the ladies lied about that we know for a fact are not true. Like, that they were telling the truth. You know what I mean? Like, oh, deception. So it's like those reactions
Oh wait,
are.
hold on. I'm sorry. Discuss how the questions came about. Remember, Emily was giving, oh, we're going to play a game, and
Oh,
we just
right.
want you to write down questions to ask whoever, or just write down some questions that you want to know the answers of. And those questions were given to the folks running the lie detectors to find out if everybody's lying. So
Right.
those were
Yes.
the questions.
Right. Sorry. Yeah. Setup. Do your setup. Sorry. Yeah. I mean, and that's why Emily didn't serve alcohol right away. Of course,
Exactly.
of
Until afterwards.
course, Shannon noticed. That was funny. I'm like, yeah, I know. Listen,
Yeah, they're like, oh, okay, yeah.
I wonder though. Here's the thing. I feel like Katie throwing up in the bathroom ahead of time. I feel like
Girl.
that I don't feel. I feel like that was the power of editing. Like, or Katie knew. Like, I don't think you'd be puking just to be hanging out or nervous. Like, no, I feel like this was known. I just don't believe that she just happened to be throwing up in the bathroom.
But one thing I did love was her dress. Just real quick. Oh my God, Katie's dress was just cute. I love a good doily,
Mm-hmm.
lace looking thing. It was just really cute and springy and everything. But anyway, go ahead.
Well, no, let me shout out to Katie because we sure do dog walk her here too. She's a beautiful woman that has impeccable fashion, Asian or not. I mean,
Girl,
whatever, like
whoever it is, that dress was hit.
yeah, yeah, and like, yeah. So she's a a fantastic specimen of a lady. So
Mhm.
shout out to you. You may be a villain, but you're looking good while doing it. I don't know what
Okay.
else to tell you. When we look at how bad Gina's first intro and some of her stuff, you have aced the look and feel of a housewife, in Orange
And
County.
speaking of that, Emily looked like a whole snack in that dress, child. I was like, yes, Emily, girl, you looking good. I love a good thickness on, it's just maybe just how I grew up. But I just love a woman who looks good. And Emily looks good in her clothes, all of that. I really love how Emily took her health into her own hands, working out, doing whatever else that she may or may not be doing. But she looks great. Just saying. Just saying.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think they've all had some real missteps in the confessionals with some stuff and whatever, but No, Emily has always been a very beautiful housewife, and I've really appreciated how she hasn't gone too thin. Um, but she can look spectacular.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like that. Look, I'll be honest. I don't. This lie detector test was like whatever to me. Like Katie's already damn. Like with everything that we now know, her reputation is soiled. Failing every question also makes me wonder how much she knew because she like. I don't believe that they asked her every single question they asked her was a lie. You know what I mean? Like I don't think she chose the, or maybe I think she purposely chose to lie on every question. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not looking at this lie detector as proving really much of anything to me, to be honest with you, because I just feel like it was a mean girl stunt. And I
Me
do,
too.
I do think Katie has some splaining to do, but I also think the way Emily threw her out was shitty.
Correctamundo. I think the questions for Katie all geared towards wanting to know did she lie about it or not,
Yeah,
versus is your name Katie? Were you born on this day? You
yeah.
know, perhaps no, ring it in so all not everything you're asking is because from what I've seen over the years in different platforms, they ask basic questions so that they can so that the machine can so that we know what's true or not, not just people wanting to know something that they think she lied about or that they know she lied about. So I would have appreciated more questions about us knowing for a fact that this is true or not. For instance, were you born on this? I think they may have asked somebody that, but nothing like that was asked of Katie. You know, were you born on this day? Or is your name such and such? I think somebody asked that too. Is your name, I don't know who it was, but ask her questions like that. So for the one of the administrators of the test to say you failed every question, like wow, you know, that's telling because it seems so geared towards trying to find out about what Katie has said in this group or done in this group.
This just
So
felt stunty, and it felt like that you're trying to use this as evidence to damn people's characters, but like I don't feel like you have a reliable like I this is for TV. This is
yeah, it's
for
just for lie
TV.
detector's sake.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, like I just don't. I mean, maybe some of it had some like validity or whatever, but we watched people say like there were contradictory like you lied about certain things. You know what I mean? Like or like they got the lie detector test got it wrong. So I don't know. I feel like Emily and Gina are very guilty of this. They can turn, especially Emily, y'all can turn into mean girls and you can
Yeah,
kind of do things to people that I don't agree with as far as group
right.
dynamics go. And like, get real kind of aggressive. Like, uh I feel like Emily is in close second commander to Tamra, where she feels like she's better than somebody if she decides that a way that they're behaving is beneath them,
I
you
believe
know?
it. Mm-hmm.
And I just don't like it. Like, yeah, Emily, we haven't caught you like straight up lying, but like, I don't know, like there's gonna be a situation where you messed up. I mean, you threatened to kill somebody like Kelly your first season. You straight up, I will kill you. You were drunk and you were so angry, but people thought you were gonna fight. So I don't know. I feel like it's interesting. I feel like Emily might be next season. I'm curious to see what they do to her. I feel like she might get, that might be the beat down on her season or something. I don't know. But I understand Katie's kind of wiling out and everybody's finding that out. But I don't think the way that she was treated was cool. I don't know. I don't like it to get too mean girl, too bully, too everybody against one. I don't like that. You're an ensemble
Yeah,
cast that go after each other all the time. I don't like it when it's one person on alone on an island.
right. It doesn't look good, especially
Uh-uh.
yelling and everything. But the one thing I heard Gina say that I thought was apropos was you don't go to the paparazzi. This ain't verbatim. She may not have used the word
Yeah.
paparazzi, but you don't go to the press with your issues about us. You come to us. That I thought that was important because I hope that Katie heard that because no matter what was said, no matter what was discussed, you said things to the press instead of coming to them when those were issues. And she may have been really honing in on the Asian designer dig.
Listen, and if you want to bring that up to Gina and you want to take it into that realm and address Gina's ignorant comment, do it on camera. Have a scene. Invite her to lunch. Say you said that and it
There
made me
you go.
uncomfortable. It felt like a dig. Baby girl,
There
do it
you
on
go.
the and I think that goes to you brought up an excellent point, and that's me supporting it. Um, if you're going to get all this information, you need to use it to maneuver on the show with them. And that's, I think, what they're trying to tell you in code. Don't go to the blogs. You need to save it for here. We need to be able to trust that what we're doing on camera and with one another, that you aren't going and trying to like create a narrative to sideswipe us off camera.
And that's where they can't trust you,
Yes.
Katie Von Teese. I mean, hell, I'm calling you Katie Von Teese for a reason. You have to be able to be trusted by your castmates because, and that's a perfect example.
Mm-hmm.
You like Aaron said, you could have used that to your benefit and put her on blast on camera under production sake about that
Yeah.
because she tried to drag Jen in it when they show the unaired footage of them riding bikes when Katie Von Teese brought it up to Jen all secretly and in the cut. So that could have led to, like
Mm-hmm.
we're discussing now, have it on camera. At
Yeah.
least have it on camera, then tell the press, but at least
Right.
at work first. Give her the opportunity to probably dig herself deeper if that's what authentically believe about the woman. You want them to prove themselves as how you see them. Instead, you're trying to prove it to people outside of the walls of your employment. And that's not
Yeah.
you're respected. It's just not respected.
Mm-mm. No, and you're also doing it, I think, too soon. Like, I think if you're gonna go and try and control the narrative, you need to do it after the season. Like, let's say you tried to talk to Gina about the Asian comment and you felt like it was a dig, and maybe you didn't get any production, or maybe production cut it, they wouldn't let you address it, this or that, or whatever. Maybe like after the season's aired, maybe you try to bring it up at the reunion or something and nobody gives it air, then maybe you talk to a blogger about it.
Mm-hmm.
Like whatever. But the thing is, it's like you front loaded this season with a whole bunch of mess because, like I said, I think it was an overreaction to getting annihilated at the reunion and feeling like nobody had her back. But what she really needed to do was continue to build her friendship with Gretchen and Jen and just keep her mouth shut.
Right. Right. And do what Tamara do. Hold it.
Yeah.
Hold it
And
until you need to put it out there to create more salacious commentary and narratives for production to cut and paste and what chop and screw. Girl, pay attention. Read the room, girl. She's trying to create her own situation. You just got there. You don't know what you're doing. That's it. She don't know what
exactly.
she's doing.
No, and speaking of, like, Tamra said that, and I think this might go further to Gretchen. Like I said, this might be a foreshadowing. there's some old stuff that Tamara has known was said or done or whatever that she brings up. It's yet to come. So,
Well, let's talk about Gretchen. My girl, you looking like you looking, girl. Because now it's 3 housewives saying you said it. Even though you went on Juicy Scoop the other day and said you misspoke. But in the moment, you got your castmates questioning you. I wish they would have said something on the couch when they was all discussing it then. Oh, I wish they were just bringing stuff up. That was an opportune time. Well, Gretchen, you said this in the car.
I am struggling because I went to the hospital. I remember when she's in the car and was like, well, I did go to the hospital. That's not misspeaking. That's a weird, I'm going to try and stick by a story. I don't even know. I'm sorry. I just think, unfortunately, you're showing evidence of you put some sauce on this mess. Now, here's what I'm curious about. Katie's trying to insinuate that Gretchen and Slade wanted this information to get out and circulate and be part of the commentary for this season. That not only did Tamara do that, but that she was drugged. And they want, and Katie's saying that it kind of leaked out sideways. I don't know that yet or not. Like I said, I'm more inclined to believe that going out to Mastro's and having conversations, some exaggerated stories were made, and then they were taken to, well, here's another thing that I have, and I think that Slade got worried that because people were catching wind that there could be a defamation lawsuit or something, because that's a hell of an accusation. So I think maybe he did call Matt and say, yo, what we talked about, please don't bring that to camera. Like, we don't want a lawsuit, like this is getting out of hand. We got to keep it whatever. I just don't believe that the intention was set to get this out to be like this.
Interpretation.
Yeah.
People are interpreting what they heard instead of saying verbatim what was said to them. That's fine if you want to, say it in your own words, but you might just have to say verbatim. Hell, do like what's her name? Lisa Hochstein, or formerly Hochstein, and take notes. Do something, because people's interpretations are becoming litigious. They are becoming an issue amongst these groups of women. And furthermore, can we please be continuous with the story? Because as Kiki said, she said that she told me, meaning Katie Von Teese told Kiki, that Gretchen was drugged. Of course, we're going to interpret it as, and depending when you were born, we're going to use certain terminologies. That's another thing. Interpretation, certain vocabulary is going to be said based on what we know that to mean to us.
And I will say this, Gretchen, if you didn't go to the hospital, claiming to go to the hospital, putting sauce on this old story, shame on you. Like, insinuating that something worse happened to you than what did, because you didn't need to. You were targeted. Now, I get that Tamara's saying that you acted one way on camera versus another, but naked wasted, it doesn't hold up. It looks terrible. You were the victim in this situation. You didn't need to put any sauce. So whether you intentionally or unintentionally did, I do believe you exaggerated, and I think that's wrong, because to insinuate that worse was done to you, more sinister than actually was, I don't agree with anyone doing that.
You were still a victim.
Yeah. Oh, so you didn't need to. You could stick to the facts at hand and be just fine.
And we all knew that over the last 17 years.
100.
Based off of Vicky and Tamara saying on camera, we're going to do this to her. It was done. It was solidified, verified.
Yeah, it was yucky back then. everybody was like, oh, we can't wait for Gretchen to look in Tamara and say naked wasted was wrong. Yeah, you didn't need to add any more to that. What you're actually doing is you're taking away from what did happen to you by lying about it. Because now you're looking weird.
You want to talk about what the lie detector said about everybody?
Well, I mean, go ahead. The only overall arching thing is like, I just didn't really take any of it that seriously.
Yeah, for me, I was like, oh, this is cute because in the grand scheme of things, it can be used in court. So, you know, it's like a Ouija board.
Yeah.
In a sense, we just want to have fun with it. You know, it's like, girl, what's going on? We gonna move it over here, move it over there. It's gonna mean this. It's gonna mean that.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't take either of those seriously. That's why I'm saying it's like a girl. It's a lie detector test. Okay.
And yeah, I mean, like I said, do I really believe Heather called the paparazzi now because she failed the lie detector test? I don't know, and I don't care. I have the same reaction I had back when they first brought it up. I don't care. I don't care if she did.
But she does want to go to RHOBH because, come on now, she wants to be amongst the rich, and these are peasants.
Well, and that's the part that, like, honestly, that I think is annoying because I think she answered it. She's like, the commute. And I couldn't even blame her the commute alone. You know what I mean? Like, they live in LA, like, Terry practices up there. Like, but because she answered it, now everybody's like, oh, it proves she wants to do it for whatever reason. You know what I mean? Like, I just think all this shit is dumb sometimes because, like, if I lived in Beverly Hills, I wouldn't want to drive down to Newport to film either. You know, like,
traveling to Orange County is a 2-hour deal, no matter where you're coming from.
Well,
and it's
except for me, because I'm in the middle. But
yeah, because it's in the middle of Southern Cal. It's in the smack dab middle of Southern California. It's halfway to Mexico, and it's halfway to Central America, child. Central California. It's just, and it's so large, and it has like 18 freeways running through it. It got all these mountain regions, got all these tolls. It's a busy. It got 2 airports. I'm just saying, it is so busy. Not to mention Disneyland, Knott's Berry Farm, child. Them 2 alone will cause angst trying to get around things. So, you know, it's a lot going on in Orange County, child. It's a lot.
No, when Heather said the commute, I believed her. Like, I believed it because, listen, that is serious traffic. From LA to Orange County is like you have LA traffic and you have Orange County traffic. So you have to get through both. So, yeah.
And it's south, right? Orange County. Yes. Ain't just the tip.
No, I live in Long Beach, which is totally in the middle. I can get up to LA in 30 minutes to an hour, depending on where I need to be. I can get down to Orange County in less than 30 minutes, 30 minutes to an hour, depending on where I need to be. So, and time of day. Time of day is a huge factor. Huge. So, honestly, if you're not from Southern California, when we tell you that Heather could legitimately want to be part of Real Housewives for the commute alone, believe her.
Please.
It's the truth.
Okay, so go ahead.
No, go ahead.
So Tamara lied about the spectrum. And then I went back to a little taping of her therapy session where the therapist mentioned she may want to, get that evaluated. So ain't nobody telling you, again, interpretation. Oh, well, she's telling me I should. That means I am. Girl, what?
Well, I believe that she and her therapist talked about her presenting shit on I do. Do I think she put extra sauce on it? Yes. But, I do. So this is where I think the lie detector test is stupid. I just don't believe that Tamara straight up lied, said, I'm going to make up that I, have autism. No, I think that they discussed it and she thought, oh my God, what if I am? This explains why I'm a jerk. And then told Teddy and it got blown out of proportion because it was a little reckless at the mouth, right? Like Amanda Seales. You might want to go get tested before you start using that as your disclaimer about why you
Correct
act
your
the way
mind
you
out.
do. So it's just you need to be less, you need to be more responsible with that as a public figure with that kind of stuff. So that's where I think a lie detector is stupid, because it's not yes or no.
And speaking of yes and no, does Jen have reservations about marrying Ryan? She said no, and she was deemed as lying. But she does because she has a reservation about marrying, period,
Yeah.
because of what just happened to her and, and everything. So, okay, and we understand. It ain't just him, it's the idea of marrying again. So,
Yeah. And that's why I wouldn't. And that's where I challenge her. Why are you rushing to the altar? Why don't you just calm down and live together for 2 seconds?
in a
Why?
bikini.
Yeah, like why? Why are you running to get, why are you getting legally entangled again with somebody that has some shady friends? Like, why don't you let Ryan prove his stability? Like, you don't need to be married. Like, what? Respectability? At this point, I'd be like, I don't need, like, for what? You want to get married in a bikini and you want respectability because you have a marriage? Get out of here. Live with him for, tell Ryan you'll marry him in 3 years. Like, what are you, why are you just starting to get your feet under you as a housewife? Do you need to be a housewife? Is that what it is? I think that she needs to trust her. Like, there is no, I would not be rushing. Mm-mm.
I think that under all of what we know and think and see about Ryan, he wants to do things more so. I guess that old saying was, "I'm gonna make I'm gonna make her an honest woman," and
Yeah,
it is so disrespectful to say, but I think that's along his line of
I agree.
thinking, and he wants it to be more or less the right situation, because not all only women think like that, in my opinion. He is a family man,
Yeah.
regardless of everything. He likes his cake and he likes to eat it too, from what I believe about the man. But I,
Hmm.
I just think that he wants that life for himself, and more so for her is to be married and living under a roof, and more or less a uh, right situation, and for him. And we always, again, it ain't for everybody. And I do get what you're saying. I think she should wait, but for him, since she's already here, hell, we might as well get married. Yeah.
I think he
Back
wants that
to Nick said it best.
respectability. He wants that respectability approval,
Yeah.
just like Ken and Trisha on friggin' Love and Marriage Huntsville,
Oh,
where it's
good.
like, where it's like, I get it. Yeah, Ryan, like you said, Ryan, they, if it were me, I'd be like, well, we already cheated, we already did all this shit. We might as well just chill out and just show everyone that we're an upstanding couple with how we move from here on out. I think Ryan, like you said, cares about the fact that people look down on them. I think he does, and her too want the Tamara and Eddie lifestyle. I don't think they want to be them. I don't think they want their skin. I think they want the level of, we're married, we're business people. I think they want the judgy people to look at them as like, okay, yeah, she cheated, but like then we fell in love and now we're making a legitimate life together. I just don't think she needs to rush into anything. I think she knows it and is worried, but I also think she's a weak woman that like is
Mhm.
not ready to stand on her own without a man. So she'll marry him.
Yeah, I don't think she can. I think she,
No.
I really think she, I don't think she knows how yet still.
Mhm.
That's why I'm adamant about women taking control of their lives, learn something more than just what's between your legs and how to use it. Yeah, that's fun and Dan, you can always grip. I get it. But you should hone in on your strengths and take a class or two and just learn something. Especially if you're in business, learn the basics of business. College is for everybody. I don't care what nobody say. That's how I feel about it. But more so, it'll help you learn more about yourself too. It opens your eyes up to not just what you think and know. And And if you don't know how to balance a checkbook, girl, take a class or two on something just so you can, learn something more about what's going on or hone in on something specific. But the whole point is to open your brain up and just to absorb more out of life other than what you're doing. Because at this age, girl, you shouldn't be in a bind to where you have to depend on someone for your livelihood.
Look at
That's
Teresa. Look at
that's
Teresa.
crazy to me. But
Look, look at
I always say learn something else. Just take a class or two. That's all.
take a lesson from Teresa. Judy J ruined
Girl.
her, right? She went to jail because she didn't know what was up. She clawed her way back with her bad cookbooks and all her stuff. She got herself back to financially decent. And then look at who she married, this dumbass without a prenup, despite everybody begging. There's another little red man coming into the picture. And
Girl.
and he has over 3 million in tax debt, and that is now her problem because she's his wife. Like, don't make the same mistake. Once you get financially stable because you're earning your own money, keep it that way for a minute.
And I saw something where she cleared up her debt, but he still got to clear up his.
Yes.
I'm like,
Yep.
girl, you
Because
might as well just dish his out too.
hers was only like 300K and his is like 3 million. Yeah.
I have no sympathy for her, how she treated her family and her so-called friends over the years. I watch every episode of Real Housewives of New Jersey from season 1. And whatever happens to Teresa is because it's supposed to happen, as far as I'm concerned.
The way that people begged her to get a prenup and she didn't, that's my sticking point with her, is that you, the very least, after what you've put your daughters through by going to jail for a year, like the very least you could have done is tell any man that comes to you, you will not take me down. And you will prove
Yeah,
it. You will prove it by signing this.
protect your daughter's
Yeah.
legacy.
I mean,
And that's what I mean. Learn something, because that should be on the forefront. I have to protect my daughter's legacy. But
this man was enough of a baboon. Like you were not blinded by. I mean, you have to be so stupid to be blinded by that love to not. And yeah, you should have been like, if you love me, you will sign this. Period. And I'm not even playing with you, because any man, after what I've been through, if they love me, will sign this.
How many people have been yelling out generational wealth?
That is, the things that you and I are working on in our own personal lives, and things like, that is, I want legacy money, right? Like that's what.
Hello?
And for you to tie yourself to a man that has that much debt, any money, yeah, we could go off on a whole tangent. But the bottom line is, Jen, you don't need to rush to the beach in a
Correct,
white
Belinda.
bikini. You just don't. You just don't.
Now we got to talk about my girl real quick. My girl, Gretchen. Girl, we know you lied to the cast. You said you misspoke. That's your admittance. Okay, cool. But she passed everything. Lie detector. And then they flashed to Tamara. Oh, no kidding. And then she brings up some on Google, I guess, talking about how liars can prepare themselves to pass the lie detector test. F you, Tamara.
Well, that's the thing. Like, I think she lied. Like, I do think Gretchen lied about something. So that's why I'm saying.
For sure.
That's why I don't take this lie detector seriously.
I thought that was so funny. She's like,
I know.
Improve, y'all. I ain't just saying it come out of my behind. Let me go ahead. Oh yeah, she passing. No wonder.
Yeah.
But I knew that if you knew how to control your bodily functions, you can pass a lie detector test, because it's all about reading how your body reacts and making swift or like I said, don't move, don't make any sudden jerks, or because it's going to read as if you're lying. Well, that's what's happening on the inside, people. That's why when you do certain things physically with your body, for instance, looking up to the right, if you're trying to think of something, that means you're lying. It could be left or right, I forget.
It's to the left.
To the left. Thank you. See, you know what I'm talking about.
I do. That's the only reason yes. Mm-hmm. Well,
So,
let me ask you this. I'm sorry to interrupt your thought.
No, go ahead.
Based on, and I feel like we could wind down with this kind of question. Do you think Katie failed every question on purpose? Because if I knew, what if she flinched every time to fail it, right? Because at least if she tanked the entire thing, it would be less telling than if she had some versus others.
No, I don't think she did it on purpose. I think the girl is pathological with her storytelling. I'll say it like that. I'm going to keep calling her Katie Von Teese until proven otherwise.
I just thought that was interesting, whether like you failed every question, because I do think they probably asked her some factual questions. I bet you the editor just cut out that part. So if she failed every single one, did she fail the ones that are true too?
They didn't. I don't think they asked her anything that was deliberately true, like her name or her birthday.
Well, I'm curious. Maybe they did, but they cut that part in editing. Like we didn't get to see like every single question.
No, because the lie detector administrator said you failed the whole test.
So, right. But I mean, did we see every single question on the show that they asked her?
I doubt we saw every question.
See, that's why I'm saying, like, I'm sure they had to ask her some questions that, like you were saying, that they knew were true, because then they had to get a baseline, right? So I think they ask you some questions like, is this your name? They had to, I'm sure, ask her some of those, but I bet you we just didn't see it because the editor cut it.
Well, I hope they bring that out, or maybe hopefully she will, to prove that the lie detector test was bullshit based on them asking me my name, but I failed that too.
That's what I'm saying.
My name. Mm-hmm. So maybe she'll bring that out as some type of defense for herself.
That was why I wondered if she tanked, because like what was she doing, like, squeezing her muscles every time they asked a question to kind of like put it in the dumper, I don't know, because she
goes while she dancing.
Right? That's what I'm saying. Like, well, I lied, so I might as well throw the whole thing,
Well, y'all, and then she gets thrown out of Gina's house because Gina got sick of talking. Oh, Emily throws her out. And I thought that was really tired and lame and through. Yes. If you listen and watch and listen to Emily. If anybody know Emily, girl, please.
Yeah.
That was really lame, tired, and through, just because of that doggone test. Now, had she said something to you that would have offended you, you would be mad. But the whole point is to try and maneuver relationships with your castmates. It's a reality show, and you have to deal with reality. I would have sat there and said, I'm not leaving until the scene is over. That's what I would have did. Move me then. But that's not her demeanor. But if it was me, move me.
No, I just think it didn't feel good. Like, it didn't feel like the right remedy. Like, y'all are too self-righteous. Y'all are lying heifers. You all have lied. You've all done stupid stuff. Now,
and the whole thing was a lie to get me here, just to see what I'm lying about. So, nah.
And you know what? This is the second time they've ambushed her. Gina, remember how Gina brought Emily and didn't give Tanya a heads up? And then now y'all are very self-righteous to be ambushing this lady. I get it. I'm not saying she hasn't done shit, but like watching her standing and waiting to leave, feeling like she was alone on an island when Gretchen probably did lie and Jen's being silent, that didn't feel good.
Yeah, I didn't like that at all. God call on the girl. And now Gretchen did have a right to go back and forth. Gina did have a right to go back and forth. But really nobody else really needed to chime in, just to give their 2 cents. Those were the two people that the whole issue of the lunch date with Kiki from those two circumstances about the drugged and also the racist comment. But yeah, Emily, you're wrong. You're wrong. It's too. And then Annabelle come in. Tell her, hey, Mom. She was like, I'm on your room.
Yep.
Like, why even show the girl coming in? You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Well, why even show the girl? She ain't in the scene. She didn't come get nothing to eat. Her mama didn't even go kiss her hello or nothing like that. She just came in. Like, why even show? Please, I'm pretty sure it was more than her in the house anyway. I mean, dang. God, it would have been cute if Emily would have left and told her, okay, so it's, these ladies are acting a little weird, so make sure you turn your volume up kind of loud. Something. Have some interaction with the little girl. That's all I'm saying. Would have been cute to see.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's it, girl. We 2 hours. Yeah, girl, there's a whole lot going on in the OC.
Mm-hmm. I hope everybody feels fully, thoroughly disposed, discussed, dissected, all of it.
Okay. Well, if you haven't watched it, we hope that we gave you something you can chew on for later. Because, child, if you ain't, go watch it if you want to. But if you want to just hear us talk, that's fine too. It's all good. It is all good. Now, we're going to end this, unless you got something else to say.
I am done.
Me too. So, if you let us know where we can find you when you ain't talking ish with me about these heifers.
You can catch me on Instagram and Threads, psychic_ELB, and on Facebook, Psychic Aaron Boyd. Hit me up in the DMs if you would like to get a psychic reading.
Yes, y'all, please do. We are approaching a new year, and sometimes we want to give it a new, as we when we do those resolutions and yada yada. Go ahead and talk to your girl Erin. Look her up because she is the truth. I've had a reading and I appreciate it, and we've had some conversations back and forth, and she's gave me some clarity on things that I kind of already like, just so yeah, I would definitely give her a ring, a buzz, and don't forget the discount you get from getting it from this platform. I appreciate that, Erin.
Absolutely. Mention you're an aunt or an uncle, and you will receive a friends and family discount.
Excuse me. Pardon me. Yes, y'all. I will be getting better. Hopefully all this coughing carrying on won't be in the next episode that we review. But with all that, as I'm saying, with all that being said, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you for the new subscribers. I hope you had a great time. Tell your folks and share, and we'll catch you next time. Bye, y'all. All day.